With a month that has flown by so quickly, is it any wonder that even though I don't have a lot of videos up this month at this point, that we're already up to my mid-month wrap? Welcome or welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads! Let's go! Yes, hello and welcome or welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I am of course Mr. Francy and I'm truly honoured that you've once again chosen to join me today as we go through my mid-month wrap. Yes, so just very quickly, a little note for everyone, little housekeeping. I know that I haven't had a lot of videos that have been done in the month of June. I've been going through a lot of different things. If you want to check out my most recent video, my medical update, that will assist you, and I'll also be doing another vlog coming up soon with something else that's been added on top of that, so it's been quite the month for me. But in saying that, one thing that has remained consistent is my reading. I'm hoping by the end of the month to have read 16 books, and so therefore today, with the mid-month wrap, we're going to talk about the first 8 of those books, and we're going to start off, as I always like to do, by telling you the stats of the mid-month point. So, for the mid-month of the month of June, I read a total of 8 books comprising of 3, so all of them were cozy mysteries, and 3 were animal cozies, 2 were culinary cozies, 2 were paranormal cozies, and 1 was a resort B&B/inn cozy. To my age groups, because they're all cozies, they were all adult books. To my lengths, I read 6 half-tomes and 2 novellas, totaling 2,370 pages, and to my star ratings, I had 4 5 stars, 3 4 stars, and 1 2 stars. So, yeah, a pretty solid first start of the month if you discount that 2-star, which we will get to momentarily. So grab yourself something nice to eat and something warm to drink, or cool if you prefer. It's winter over here in Australia. I think it's warmer everywhere else overseas, so if you want to get something cool, that's totally fine on my watch to drink. And let's jump right on in. The first book that I read in the, for the first half of June was this book, Brood Awakening by Cleo Coyle. This is book number 18? Yes, 18 in the Coffee House Cozy Mystery series by Cleo Coyle. The basic setup of this series is that we follow Claire Cosi, who runs a cafe in New York, the Village Blend, alongside her ex-husband and her ex-husband's mother, so her ex-mother-in-law, and yeah, that's basically what we follow. In this particular book, Claire wakes up having no idea what's going on. She's in the park, but why? Also, she needs to get home to her 11-year-old daughter, but turns out that her daughter is all grown up now and even has a boyfriend. Claire even has a fiancé. So why does she think Mateo and her only just broke up recently? Yeah. So to my thoughts, this was a whole lot of fun to read. I really enjoyed seeing Claire going through this amnesia, given that by this point in the series, if you're up to where I am, we're aware of what has transpired from book 1 all the way through to now, and seeing her get reintroduced to that. I thought it was a really good way to mix things up at this point in the series. It's hard to keep things fresh when you're 18 books into a series. So yeah, I thought it was just really well done. Thank you, Cleo Coyle. It's one of the best books in the series in my opinion, and the exact time to pin something like this. We know the characters and Claire's life well enough that it became a fast and intriguing ride to see her get her memories back. We also get perspectives from Quinn, Mateo, and even Madame. I really appreciated that. So normally that doesn't happen, but in this book, we actually get other character perspectives, which was really cool. Truly the best book in the series so far. Yeah, I can say that without a doubt. The best one I've read so far. 5 stars. So the next book that I read was this book, Nacho Average Murder by Maddie Day. This is book number 7 in the Country Store Mystery series, and I gave this book 4 stars. The basic premise of this series is that we follow, oh gosh, what's her name? Robbie. Robbie Jordan. I always forget her name, always. Robbie Jordan, who runs a part country store, part diner, part B&B in Southlake in Indiana. In this particular book, while looking forward to her high school reunion back in California, Robbie's anticipation is complicated by memories of her mother's untimely death. At first, she has fun hanging out with her old classmates and reuniting with the local flavors, avocados, citrus, fish, and spicy Cali mix dishes. But then she gets wind of rumors that her mother, an environmental activist, may not have died of natural causes. With the help of friends, Robbie starts clearing the smoke surrounding the mystery, but what she finds could make it hard to get back to Indiana alive. So to my thoughts, the book was a solid 4-star read. To the cons, it took place away from Southlake, which I was actually given the heads up for, so thank you if you're the one who gave me that heads up. But yeah, we had to meet an entirely new bunch of characters as well, and that was just not to my liking. But to the pros, Robbie as a main character is arguably the kindest main character I've ever met. I love when anything Latin comes up in a cozy, so it was fun having the Mexican restaurant owned by a mother and daughter team. I'm looking forward to getting back to Southlake in the next one, and I gave this one 4 stars. So the next book that I read was very much a double-edged sword for me because it is the final book that I'm able to read so far in the Deputy Donut Cozy Mystery series by Ginger Bolton. This is book number 3, Jealousy-Filled Donuts. So the reason why this is the last one for me at the moment is because the series has not continued on audiobook, so that is really sad. I've been enjoying my ride with this series and wish that book 4 and so on were out on audio, but they're not at the moment, so nothing we can do. The basic setup for this series is that we follow Emily Westhill, the owner of Deputy Donut, the donut shop in Falling Brook, Wisconsin, alongside her cat Deputy Depp Donut, who the store is named after. In this book, it's the 4th of July, and what better way to celebrate in Fallen Brook than a picnic? Emily is asked to provide donuts, but when a firecracker hidden in a bag of donuts hits the queen of the festival and explodes, killing her, and Emily is nearby, she becomes a suspect. So, alongside Deputy Depp Donut, Emily dons her sleuthing cap to determine who the real killer is. So to my thoughts, I have loved this series from book 1 until now. As I said earlier, my only regret is the remaining books aren't available on audio, and therefore the journey ends for me here. Regarding thoughts on the book, I continue to love Emily as our main character and love Miss Deputy Donut so much. The mystery was interesting given I haven't come across the cause of death before. However, the reveal did let me down quite a bit. Still a solid book, and I end my journey with this series on a high. And I gave it, as I said, 4 stars, and now we say a very tearful goodbye to dear Miss Deputy Noonan. It's going to be sad to no longer read from Deputy Donut, but I've enjoyed each and every moment with this series, and I have a massive thank you to give to Sherry over on my Discord server who introduced me to this series. Sherry, I'm just so sorry that it doesn't continue on audio because it has been absolutely fantastic. This was a wonderful recommendation for me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. And I highly recommend it to anyone who loves the idea of a culinary cozy with a cat and things like that. It's just so much fun. 4 stars. The next book that I read was book number 5 in the Magical Cats Cozy Mystery series by Sophie Kelly. I'm also loving this series. This was recommended to me by Jane over on my Discord. Thank you, Jane. And that book is called Final Cat Call. So the series premise for this one is that we follow Kathleen Paulson, a librarian from Maryville Heights in Minnesota, who lives with her magical cats Owen and Hercules. Now, in this book, Kathleen's ex comes to town wanting to win her back. If that's not enough, the local theatre festival is relocated to Maryville Heights, and Kathleen stumbles upon the very much dead director. Tough for him, to be sure, but the perfect distraction from Andrew. So Kathleen dons her sleuthing cap once again to work out what happened. So to my thoughts, honestly, the whole Andrew storyline, in my opinion, was not needed. Not only that, but it detracted from more time that we could have spent with Owen and Hercules. That being said, anytime I get to hang out with these adorable cats, it's always a joy. The ending poster reveal was fantastic. However, I am looking forward to book number 6, and all in all, I gave this one 4 stars. I highly recommend it. If you love cats and following cats, then I think this is a wonderful series. The first, what's this one, number 5? Yeah, the first 4 books, we really predominantly focus on Owen and Hercules, but because of Andrew being in this one, we spent less time with the cats than normal. We still spend time with them, don't get me wrong, but it was less time. So if you are someone who loves the idea of seeing cats often in your cozies, I highly recommend this series because I think you will really love it. Thank you, Jane. I can't wait to get on to book number 6. 4 stars for this one. The next book that I read was the 4th, I believe. Yes. Maybe. Yes. The 4th book in the Salem B&B Cozy Mystery series by Tracy Wilton, and that is called Mrs. Morris and the Sorceress. So the series set up for this one is that we follow Charlene Morris, who runs a B&B alongside her employees, a cook named Minnie and an orphan named Avery in Salem in Massachusetts. We also have a resident ghost that lives at the B&B whose name is Jack, and I appreciate each and every time I get to hang out with Jack, or that I should say that Charlene gets to hang out with Jack. In this particular book, Charlene takes Avery to see a play, and during dress rehearsals, the one of the actresses is shot and ends up dying, despite the play meaning to represent no wars, let alone gunshots. So Charlene dons her sleuthing cap to track down the killer. So to my thoughts, firstly, a massive thank you to Tracy Wilton. I went into this book a little trepidatiously, given my experience with book number 2 being overly paranormalized. With the title of this one including the word sorceress, I did wonder if we'd get too much paranormal again, but we didn't. It was the perfect amount. I loved Charlene as our MC and really appreciated my time with Avery in this one too, as Wilton allowed us to get to know her, Avery, a lot better. I love every scene with Jack and really appreciate that Wilton allows Jack to stand on his own. Truly another fantastic book in the series, and I gave this one 5 stars. So the next book that I picked up was this book, which is book number 5 in the Inn at Holiday Bay Cozy Mystery series by Kathy Daly, and this is called Haunting in the Hallway. I love the pictures of the animals on the cover and the mixed media in that it's live animals, live action, I should say, animals, and like a cartoony painting background, and that is a theme for all of the covers of the books, at least so far. Alright, so the series premise for this one is that we follow Abby Sullivan, who runs an inn in Holiday Bay, and yeah, this one, I really didn't enjoy my time with this book, and I am strongly considering DNFing the series. Let's talk about the premise first of all for this one. The new bank president, who happens to be the son of the man who founded the community bank, is found dead and buried in his own grave. The man was not popular in the small community after making a lot of changes with his father's passing, and list of possible suspects who might want him dead is extensive. Meanwhile, it is October, and the inn is hosting Halloween-themed events, including a murder mystery dinner party. The haunted weekends are just for fun, but when guests report hearing noises in the hallway, Abby wonders if the inn might actually be haunted for real. So, there's your premise, but here's my thoughts. Okay, so I love my cozies and I'm starting to enjoy the mystery side of them a lot more lately. However, with all the books in the Holiday Bay Cozy Mystery series thus far, I feel like I've always been out of the loop with the mystery. For example, this book opens up with Abby and the detective finding a body that she somehow got lucky with finding because she wrote a book that had the same thing happen. Now, granted, as a premise, this sounds great, but this is literally the opening, no backstory. The mystery begins before the book started. Abby found the body, now post that, welcome to page 1 of the book. Also, the inn wasn't what I wanted it to be. I understand that these books are short, because they are. This one is, oh gosh, I'm not even seeing, but yeah, I think it's like 200 something pages. I understand the books are short, but often they read like cliff notes as opposed to an actual story. For example, at one stage, Abby and her employee talk about the guests like their numbers, saying something like A and B are in room 1, C is in room 2, and D in room 3, A checks out in 2 days, B in 3, C in 4. Not to mention, they plan this what sounds like a fun event, murder mystery night, and here's all we see. Cut to the employee saying, wow, they really enjoyed the night. So we get the lead up, then we get the post. And we don't actually get to see the event happening, which sounded so amazing. It was a missed opportunity. So, yeah, in my opinion, no. I wanted to actually experience it, not be led to it, skip over it, and get a one-sentence summary on the guest's feelings. I will read book number 6 because on audiobook I'm buying them in 3s. I have audiobook 1 to 3 as well as 4 to 6. So this being book 5, I already have book 6 on audio, so I will listen to book number 6, but if I don't like it, I'm going to DNF this series. I've had a number of issues with this series basically from book number 1, but I've kept going for certain reasons, and now I don't know if I will continue. So in July, I'll read book 6. If it does not satisfy me, then I think that's more than enough of a chance that I've given the series to DNF. So we'll see how we go, but I gave this one, sadly, 2 stars. The next book that I read was book number 2 in the A Witch's Cat Cozy Mystery series by Delia James, which is called By Familiar Means. And I need to start this mini review off by saying that this series is really, really, really special to me. It was on my A to Z Cozy Mystery Bingo board as letter A, and I had no idea what I was getting into with book 1. And I think within the first chapter, I fell in love with the book. And by the time I got to the end of book 1, I gave it an overwhelming 5 stars. This book, book 2, also got an overwhelming 5 stars. It's just a really special series to me. I really appreciate the way Delia James is writing this series, and I really wish that Delia James had written a whole lot more than just this. But anyway, so the premise of this series is that we follow, what is her name? Annabelle Britton, who, alright, one moment. Yeah, so we follow Annabelle Britton, who in book number 1 decides to visit Portsmouth, New Hampshire, but when she stumbles upon a smoky grey cat named Alistair and follows him into a charming cottage, Annabelle finds herself in a whole spellbook full of trouble. Soon the mystery surrounding Alistair's former owner, who died under unusual circumstances, grows when another local turns up dead. Armed with magic friends and the charmed cat who adopted her more than the other way around, Annabelle sets out to pour through the evidence and uncover a killer. That is book number 1. So that's your basic setup. So it is a paranormal series where Annabelle comes to town, has no idea she's a witch, find out she is. She is then adopted by her familiar rather than her adopting the familiar. The familiar Alistair adopts her, which I loved. And yeah, then we get to know, her, for want of a better word, her coven. If you can call it a coven in a cozy mystery, but anyway, her coven. And, it was just really, the way it was written was so enticing, so special. Book number 2 just continued that on. Another 5 stars from me. So the premise for this particular book, By Familiar Means, is after discovering her magical heritage and being adopted by furry feline familiar Alistair, artist Annabelle Britton has decided to make picturesque, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, her new home. Now she can take time to figure out her new abilities and welcome her grandmother, who is visiting Portsmouth and her old coven for the first time in 30 years. And let me tell you, having her grandmother come into the book and see her old coven for the first time in 30 years was really interesting because one of the coven members very much reminds me of Maggie Smith from Downton Abbey, like that character she plays in Downton Abbey. And so when we have Annabelle's grandmother, who is a lot more whimsical, come and see this elderly, for me, she's the leader of the coven, who is very much, as I say, Maggie Smith and Downton Abbey. It just made, some hilarious back and forths. Really, really an entertaining series. But being a witch doesn't magically put money in the bank. When she's hired to paint the murals for a new coffee house, Annabelle, it seems like a wish come true, but then a series of spooky sounds and strange happenings convince the owners that their new shop is haunted. They want Anna and her coven to evict the restless spirit before the grand opening. So to my thoughts, I love this series. Alistair is arguably my favourite cat in Cozy, seriously. Alistair is like a diva and a half, but I just love him so much. Annabelle is a fun character to follow, and it brought me a lot of joy having her grandmother in the town. A fantastic read, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting on to the next one. And this got from me, as I said, another second in a row, overwhelming 5 stars. 5 stars book 1, 5 stars book 2. It's been an amazing series, and if you don't mind paranormal in your cozies, I highly recommend this series. It's really special to me. 5 stars. And the final book that I picked up for the first half of the month of June was this book, Claws of Death by Linda Riley, which is book number 2 in the Cat Lady mystery series. And unfortunately, as with the Deputy Donut mystery series, there are no more audiobooks available for this series, so this is the end of the line for me bringing this series. But I have to say, before we go any further, I wanted to pick up this series because I love Linda Riley's grilled cheese cozy mystery series so much, and I thought we were at the end, but I have found out. Good news! Thank you to whoever told me, because you deserve all the love in the world. Someone on Discord told me that there is a new book on the way in the Grilled Cheese Cozy Mystery series, and I can tell you already it is called Eat 'em and Weep, and I cannot wait for it to come out. So thank you to whoever told me. It's made my day. But I needed more Linda Riley after finishing the first 5 of those books, so I decided to give this one a go because this was the only other series she had on audiobook. Book 1 was on audio. This book, book 2 on audio, book 3 not on audio. No other Linda Riley books are on audio, so I've listened to every single audiobook I can where the book is, but the original source material is by Linda Riley. So that has made me happy. The setup for this series as a whole is that we follow Lara Caphart, who alongside her Aunt Fran, in book number 2, runs a kitten and cat shelter. Now, in book number 1, Lara goes to visit her... Is it Lara? I'm getting so confused. Yeah, it is Lara. I should trust what I write down, but I have all these Laras and Lauras and... Anyway, Lara in book 1 goes to visit her Aunt Fran, who needs to go through some knee or leg surgery, something like that, and she lives with like 20 cats, which I just love. It's so perfect. So Lara goes down to help look after the cats while her aunt is recovering. By the end of book 1, we have this setup where Lara wants to open up a cat and kitten shelter to help cats and kittens who are no longer wanted by some, to give them a second chance at life with another home with someone else. And so we get to experience that in this second book. Now, specifically for the plot of this book, a famous celebrity, Diana Daltrey, moves to town and is looking to adopt some kittens. During the processing stage of her background check, she invites Lara and Aunt Fran to an event that the ladies are hosting to welcome her. During the event, a man rudely interrupts everything, having a frank whispered discussion with her. Not too much later, Lara finds Diana's car graffitied, and then the man that disrupted the party dead. What the heck is going on around here? So to my thoughts, oh my goodness, I need to thank Linda Riley first and foremost. I don't think I've ever read a book from her that I didn't like, and this was no exception. Not only was the mystery interesting, but the cozy side, the cat shelter, couldn't have been any more cozy if Linda Riley tried. I love spending time with all the cats as well as Lara, and couldn't wait to find out who the killer was. The reveal was very well done. It was just an amazing book. Sadly, this is, as I say, where I get off from the A Cat Lady mystery train, as there are no more audiobooks in the series, which is a real shame. So a massive thank you again to Linda Riley, and also to the audio narrator, who I'm going to screw up this name, I'm sorry, but it's Callie Beaulieu, something like that, Bellieu, whom I've always loved as a narrator. Callie is absolutely amazing as a narrator. I highly recommend her. 5 stars for this one. Highly, highly, highly recommend. And can we get a hashtag starting? Hashtag book 3 in the Cat Lady mystery series. Put it on audio. Like, come on. Let's just track down Callie Beaulieu and say, okay, here's book number 3 now. Just read it. Even just for Mr. Francy. Just read it because I want to listen to book number 3. But 5 stars for this one. And now for everyone's favourite game that we like to call Up. These are the books that I read in the first half of June 2025. What books did you read in the first half of June 2025? Any standout 5-star books? Any DNFs? Let me know it all in the comment section below. But in the meantime, that is where I am going to leave it. I will be doing my second half of June monthly wrap coming up very, very soon, as well as after that, my July TBR, and then we're going to have a vlog to update everything else that's been going on. So a lot of content is coming your way once I have the time to get it all done. But in the meantime, I just want to say on a personal note, a very big thank you to all of you. As I said, June has been a struggle bus month for me. And for those of you who were aware of what I was going through and who has sent me love and support and kind messages and things like that, thank you so much. Not only does it keep me going, because it absolutely does, but it just fills my day with so much love, warm kindness. It really, this channel, first and foremost, is a booktube channel, but my main thing that I want to do is spread peace, joy, love, and happiness all throughout the world. And the support that I'm getting back from all of y'all in this past month, arguably the toughest month for me this year, has been like that peace, joy, love, and happiness coming back to me tenfold. And I really, 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 from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of your love and your support. You are helping me to put one foot in front of the other and continue to walk forward and do what it is that I do. It is not easy to be in the position that I am in and to still be filming, but with the backing and support that I have from all of y'all who say that you still want to see videos, that say you can still understand me, is what is that strength that, it is literally the pillar that I can stand upon that keeps me grounded and keeps me going. All of the love and support I receive from you all. So I can't thank you all enough. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have that support. I really, really, really appreciate it. You all are absolutely amazing. Thank you for allowing me to continue to build upon what we have already built here, thanks to making this a safe space that is one that is filled with a whole lot of love and support. I really, really, really can't understate enough how much I appreciate that. That being said, I'm going to let you all go. Peace, blessings, and so much love. Please, as always, do be kind, love one another, and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. Yeah! And until next time, happy reading. Bye, everyone!